welcome you as we present to you the most current news of the week. Stretching from sports, international, national, and video games, we have it all. Please stay tuned as Fernando presents to you some of this week's sports. Enjoy.
Thank you, Andy. Good evening, everyone. My name is FernandoSotillet, and here's the sports news. Tricolor nightmare in 2018. The Mexican national team finished its activity in 2018 with a loss to Argentina in Mendoza, in the second match in the Albiceleste territory on this FIFA date, in which it fell twice by 2-0. It was the sixth game of the three this year, and for the first time in almost 3 decades, Mexico ended with a majority of defeats. Neymar as new white hero. Neymar has been pretended by the team of Real Madrid, and with his good actual performances, the Real Madrid soccer team already find a new striker of world class for his team. And another thing that can influence that this might happen is that his bad relation with Cavani, and that he feel that they don't give him the necessary protagonism. In other news, in baseball, the Red Sox win the World Series. The Red Sox of Boston beat Los Angeles Dodgers 1-5 in the 5th game of the World Baseball Series and won the Major League Baseball (MLB) title for the 4th time since 2004. The Boston team won the first victory in the series, beat off best of 7 at the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, home of his rival, and won by 4-1. Now he has 9 editions of the World Series, which makes him the 3rd team with more titles in history, tied with the Athletics of Oakland, but is still far away from the 27 titles of the New York Yankees. In other news, in basketball, Durant says his war with Green will not influence his future with the Warriors. The MVP of the last in NBA Finals said that his decision will only have to do with his sporting aspiration. He said, "I am just a basketball player trying to be in the most appropriate environment possible. I want to compete on a level where once the match starts, I feel completely ease with those around me." Well, that's all for me. I pass it to you, Andy.
Thank you very much, Fernando. It's amazing to hear how Boston is doing. Go Red Sox! Alright, that's enough sports. I'll present you the international news. A little review of how the world is doing this week. Let's begin. The campfire. The campfire now, the most devastating fire in California history, began in Sierra foothills in the morning hours of November 8, prompting a hectic evacuation that has left at least 52,000 people in hotels, relatives' homes, parking lots, and makeshift shelters. More than 11 days later, those temporary accommodations are being overwhelmed by overcrowding and diseases, as heavy rain moves into the area for the first time since the fire began. Those living in tents face the threat of flooding. More than 120 people have been taken to hospitals in recent days with stomach alignments that resemble the symptoms of norovirus, a highly contagious infection. The options are limited for those living in the makeshift shelters and will be for some time. No one has been allowed back into the devastating towns, so they have little sense of what awaits them there, and how plausible returning and rebuilding really is. Nearly 12,000 homes have been destroyed. The result is that tens of thousands of Californians are facing months, if not longer, without permanent housing in a region that borders some of the most expensive in the nation. My thoughts and prayers for the ones who are suffering. China now leads the world in the homeowners, internet users, college graduates, and by some counts, billionaires. Extreme poverty has fallen to less than 1%. China has risen China is rising so quickly that an 18-year-old's chance of upward mobility today vastly exceeds those of its counterparts in the US. Now President Xi Jinping is steering the Communist Party toward repression again, tightening its grip on society, concentrating power in its own hands, and setting himself up to rule for life by abolishing the presidential term limit. The U.S. government has cut all fundings to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, which serves millions of Palestinian refugees. The move will hit Gaza the hardest, where 70% of residents rely on the agency for food, medicine, jobs, and education. Critics warn the move could fuel further unrest. Palestinian officials have called the cuts cruel and vindictive, saying that together with the decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, it is an attempt by the United States to unilaterally impose a solution before a plan was ever unveiled. That is all for me. I pass the mic to Aldo, who will bring us the news on what's new with the video game culture.
Thank you, Andy. Hi everyone, here's what's happening in the video game world. A man has been given $20,000 for discovering a bug in Steam video games that let people download the free video games. Security researcher Artem Mosklovsky found a flaw in Steam portal games for developers to let anybody generate license key without paying. Millions of people use Steam to buy and download games on PC and Mac computers. Mr. McCloskey told Steam owner Valve about the bug and awarded him the money as part of its bug bounty scheme. Many companies reward people who privately disclose security problems so they can be fixed, rather than sharing the information online. Drone maker DJI in cybersecurity wrote over bug bounty, how to make big box hunting cyberbugs. Mr. McCloskey told news site The Register that he discovered the problem by accident when exploring the Steam Partner portal. The portal lets game studios generate license keys for their own software so they can give a copy to fans or journalists to review. But he found that modifying the request let anybody generate thousands of codes of any game they wanted. This could theoretically be sold online on the black market. He managed to bypass the verification of ownership of the game by changing only one parameter, he told The Register. Valve awarded him with $15,000 and $5,000 bonus for making the private disclosure. The flaw has been fixed since then. ¿Ten eso? In other news, Sony won't be attending next year E3 Expo for the first time in the event in its 24-year history. That's right. E3 is one of the biggest gaming conferences. The 3-day event usually sees gaming giants including Sony and Microsoft showcase their newest, shiniest product. In a statement, Sony said, "We always want to innovate, think differently, and experiment with new ways to delight gamers." Sony went on to say that PlayStation fans meant a lot to them. It said that they're exploring new and familiar ways to engage their community in 2019 and can't wait to share their plans. Around 7,000 people attend to E3 event this year. Normally, Sony would have to a press conference and have both at the event, which takes place next year in Los Angeles, California, on event. Its decision not to show up in 2018 E3 has left mixed feelings among fans and experts. Well, that's it for me. I pass it to Brian. See you later.
Thank you, Aldo, and good evening, everyone. As you all know, my name is Brian, and I will be presenting national news. In national news, Héctor Beltrán Leiva died this Sunday after being hospitalized in Toluca, Mexico. Leader of the Beltrán Leiva cartel, the man suffered a heart attack. Casually, a leader of an organized crime died after Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán confessed of bribing several presidents, Enrique Peña Nieto and Felipe Calderón. Rumors say that the corpse hasn't been returned to a Beltrán Leiva family. In other news, the Navy reported various gunshots against armed civilians in Tomatlan, Jalisco. Authorities confirmed that there was only one dead person. During the gunshots, there were several vehicles on fire and blocking the freeway. The gunshots started at 7:50 a.m. and the federal and state police are now guarding the zone. And the next president getting to power, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, the new Secretary for Governation, Olga Sánchez Cordero, is presenting the new law of cannabis control and will get in motion in 2019. Arctic Monkeys is coming to Mexico City in the Salt Forum on the 24th of March of 2019. And they are not the only ones coming. Also, the Hypes and My Kind are coming. The pre-sale dates are gonna be on the 26th and 27th of November of this year. Yesterday, the band became trending topic after announcing the tour. The Arctic Monkeys are gonna be playing the most recent album, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, and that will be the 6th consecutive positioning at number 1. And it's also the fastest selling vinyl in the last 25 years. And lastly, in weather parentheses, the next states are gonna be very cold weather. In lower than minus 5 degrees Celsius, Chihuahua and Durango. From -5 to 0 degrees Celsius, Baja California, Sonora, Coahuila, Nuevo León, Zacatecas, Hidalgo, Mexico State, Tlaxcala, Puebla, Veracruz, and Oaxaca. And from 0 to 5 degrees Celsius are Baja California Sur, Jalisco, Michoacán, Tamaulipas, San Luis Potosí, Aguascalientes, Querétaro, and Mexico City. So stay very warm in your homes, and that's it for us. We thank you for paying attention, and we hope you tune in next time.